Hey there, welcome back to Askamy. I have a question today from Sarah. Sarah says, for years I've dealt with sleeping pills to sleep and caffeine pills to wake up. How does one break the chain? When I surrender to what is, functioning is difficult. So Sarah, I don't know exactly what you mean by surrender to what is. When I surrender to what is, maybe that means when you try to not take the pills. But what I would have you do is back up from that even. When you say functioning is difficult, because if that's what you mean or not, if you stop taking these pills, that might be part of your experience for a time, is that functioning is difficult. Can you feel that? Like, can it be okay? And even asking if it can be okay is too much. It doesn't have to be okay. Can you be in the experience of functioning being difficult? If that's the experience that arises. It may not. Who knows? But it might. And it sounds like, and not just from you, from many people, who are in this kind of cycle, like that's the fear that keeps us in it, or one of them anyway, is the mind creates these elaborate fears and stories that look very real about how everything's going to fall apart and functioning will be difficult. And we're not feeling that reality because we're still taking the pills. We're feeling our imagination. We're literally feeling a movie playing out that is not real, but that feels very real. That's we're convinced will be our future. And that imagination that we're feeling is enough to keep us in the cycle. So that's the question. It's not like I would take the whole concept of surrender even out of it. That's just some fancy sounding concept that sounds really big. I don't know how to surrender, or who knows how to surrender. You don't have to surrender to anything, but can you fill in the blank? Like, can you feel functioning being difficult if that's what happens? Can you be in the feeling of uncertainty about how this will go? Can you be in the feeling of tiredness, of feeling out of control, and in feeling like things aren't going the way that you want them to go? All of this is all that's going to happen. And again, some of that might happen, lots of other stuff I didn't mention might happen. But ultimately, all that's happening, even in all of that, is feeling. We don't want to feel our mind say, it's all just the mind talking, saying this shouldn't be happening, I can't function, I didn't do well at work, I was late for this. Even if those circumstances happen, and those circumstances are not happening right now at all, that's all imagination, but even if they did, even if a circumstance happens where you're late to work or you can't perform in some way, the only problem in that is the feeling. Really hear this. The only problem for any of us in anything is the feeling. We don't want to feel that, because you could be late to work under some other circumstance and it would feel totally different. Like, you could be late to work and not care. You could be late to work and it could be exciting. Like, there's a story in here. Oh no, I need this. I need to be a certain way. Things need to look a certain way. My life's going to fall apart. You look and see what these stories are for you, and see that those stories and the feelings that come along with them are the only thing keeping you in this cycle. Those coming up looking real and saying, I don't want to feel that. I don't want to feel any discomfort. That's the only thing keeping you in this. So as we're open to feeling all of that stuff, or at least some of that stuff, that's what releases you from it. It's really, really simple, but the mind will so overcomplicate this. It'll, oh my gosh, it'll just overcomplicate it and bring in all kinds of stuff that don't really matter. Let it stay really, really simple. If you can feel, you can for sure, that's it. That's all this is. And so when you look toward feeling, though, it's not like, can I, Sarah, feel this horrible, crushing feeling of my life falling apart and there's nothing I can do about it? Like, that's a big dramatic way that the mind might give it to you. Take out the separation. Take out the separation. Like, can you be a feeling of fear? It's not a feeling happening to you, and so you need to hurry and take some pills and get some sleep and prevent it. We are it. There is no separation. There's nothing happening to us. It's all one, and it's here already. You're feeling disappointed and frustrated and out of control already. Taking these pills is having you feeling that way. All kinds of things in life, we just feel that way. So it's already happening. Just notice the story that wants to separate it. Say, well, I can't handle this feeling, and this is preventing me from this feeling. Like, it's just not that complicated. We're feeling all the time. You can feel it now. You can feel it when you're off the pills. You will feel it all the time, and you're designed to feel it. You are it. You are all of these feelings. They're fine. They're forces of nature. They come and go. They're always moving. So see if you can, these words don't make sense, but see if you can lean into this feeling more. And again, it's not a leaning in, because you are it. You're not separate from it to begin with. But maybe try it also before you'll feel stuff if you stop taking the pills, but look toward feeling already. Look toward feeling now. You don't have to wait until you stop taking the pills and then let that be the entry point. I probably wouldn't recommend that. Go through your day-to-day and feel, and you'll notice, wow, there's a lot of stuff here already. What are these pills really preventing? What is my mind telling me they're preventing, and what are they actually preventing? And what if the thing that they're preventing, some form of discomfort, no question, what if that's not even necessary to prevent? It doesn't need to be prevented. It's already happening, and you're so capable of feeling it. So it's a big cycle of imaginary, really, really scary stories. And I know when I say imaginary, you might be thinking, no, these things really might happen. And yes, they might. If you get off of pills, you might have a period of time when you're not as functional as you are right now, for sure. That's why we stay doing our substances and staying in that, because we're afraid of the alternative. But really, can you do that? Can you just have some period of time where it's an adjustment, where you don't feel totally with it? And what would that even mean? And who even cares? Is it really that big a deal? Notice how the mind makes this stuff so big. It's all about you, and it matters in your life, and control, and all the consequences. All of that is mind. You can feel all kinds of stuff. And if you got the flu really bad and were sick, or you got COVID and you're sick in bed for weeks, all of these same effects, most of them, maybe some different ones, show up. And because there's a different explanation for it, we're just like, well, I just gotta wait and get better. It is what it is. Well, it's no different with these pills. Absolutely no different. You're gonna feel some stuff, and you're totally designed to feel that stuff. So keep feeling, again, even with the pills. Feel what's here right now more and more, and that will show you that you're totally, totally capable of this. It's very, very simple. Don't let your mind overcomplicate it. It's not always easy, only because of a lot of conditioning, but it's extremely simple. So thanks for sending your question. Send your questions to askamy@thelittleschoolofbigchange.com. And I'll see you guys next time.